Today the light of liberty will grace the skies of this world once.
Self-sustainable. Zero reloading. Blow. Efficient. Hey everybody, I'm Pissdiver from Zimbabwe and you're watching Loadouts, a new series where I create loadouts of questionable quality. Today's first episode is about a loadout called the Pissdiver. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we're using today. Our loadout today consists of the last 5 scythe as our primary, the last 7 dagger, grenades of your choice. I was personally using thermites to help with the lack of anti-tank, but gas and incendiary grenades work as well, and the last 98 laser cannon. So let's take a closer look at the scythe. The scythe is going to be what you're used the most. Light armor penetration, preferably you want to have that larger heatsink upgrade. Angled foregrip, and a sight of your choice that gives you the highest ergonomics you can get, which is 60. You want to use the larger heatsink because it basically doubles the amount of time you can fire the weapon without having to burn out a heatsink and reload. And you may ask why we aren't using the fast dissipating heatsink, and that's because of our playstyle. We're going to be mostly switching between the scythe and the laser cannon. So when your scythe is about to burn out, you're going to switch to the laser cannon and use that until it's about to burn out. And then if you have to, you can switch to dagger at that point if you need to. Or you can switch back to the scythe, which by that point should be or almost completely dissipated. The dagger is only there if you're doing objectives which require you to hold on to something, or for weak enemies like voteless or small bugs, where you just spray on them until they are all dead, because the heatsink on the dagger burns extremely quickly. And then you have the laser cannon, which is only really meant to be used when you have a large group of medium pen enemies or for large pen enemies like hulks and tripods. Though the laser cannon also tends to set stuff on fire a lot quicker than the scythe and also the dagger do. So if there's a lot of small enemies, it is pretty viable to spray with a laser cannon just for a second to set a bunch of them on fire as quick as possible. Armor you want to use is anything yellow. Personally, I like to use the PH56 Jaguar because peak physique works well with this loadout and basically turns everything into a laser pointer from a Styropyro video. If you want to be actually practical without the drip, bring either engineer armor or medic armor, as that's like the only thing you really run out of is stims and grenades. Stratagems depend on where you're fighting, but lack of anti-tank and things to clear bases out are the 2 main weak points of this loadout. So usually you want to bring something that can destroy big enemies like Striders or Bio Titans if there's a lot of them, and something that can help destroy bases. Playstyle on all fronts kind of remains pretty similar as well. Mostly you want to be just killing the chafe enemies of all the factions. On bots it's a little different because bots you can kill everything up until a Strider. So we'll take a look at bots first.
Warning, you are in range of enemy artillery.
Bots have this kind of suppression mechanic where when you start shooting at them, they start missing a lot easier, so it's a lot harder for them to kill you. And this applies still to having laser weapons. So even though you're not slinging lead at them, you're suppressing them just as much as you were. So it makes it very easy to click on devastator heads with the scythe and or the laser cannon if there's a lot of them. And for the smaller enemies like berserkers and commissars and stuff like that, all you gotta do is aim in their chest and they're dead. Hulks and tanks are especially easy. Tanks, if you can just hit them, you can actually shoot them from the front if you just aim a little up. And for hulks, all you gotta do is aim for them in the eye. The only problem this loadout has on the bot front, you have nothing against Striders, and sometimes you can't kill commissars fast enough before they call out a bot drop. A loadout that I would recommend against the bots would be an orbital like a 120 or a napalm barrage if you feel like killing your teammates, and then 2 eagles, either a 500 or a normal eagle airstrike or a 500 in clusters. Alright, moving on to the bug front.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
On the bug front, this is where it's at its best and at its worst. Your main priority is to keep a distance, because if you aren't keeping a distance, you're going to die. So when they do get close to you, you have to backpedal often. You basically are forced to backpedal away most of the time because a scythe or the laser cannon isn't able to kill them fast enough before they kill you, probably having to waste a stim or 2, especially if stalkers or warriors attacking you. Chargers and impalers have some issues too with this loadout. So the problem with them is the fact that you're fighting, like, multiple of them usually are getting swarmed by other smaller bugs that you can't focus down on the charger in place. If you're able to focus on just one charger or one impaler, then yeah, you're able to kill them, but the volume of bugs that come towards you, usually it does not allow you to do that. Bio Titans, on the other hand, are pretty easy to kill because it's pretty easy to aim for their sacks or aim for their head. Some loadouts I recommend against the bugs would probably be one of the backpacks, either a laser guard dog or a sterilizer guard dog, and then a turret of some kind. Either some options would be some like a flame sentry, or a rocket sentry, and or a machine gun sentry. Flame or rocket if you're playing more defensive missions, like evacuate high value targets, or you know, stuff that's more defensive. Machine gun turrets, because it actually has a very short cooldown, and I feel like people sleep on it a lot. It can shred through most of the smaller bugs pretty easily, and it has like an 81-second cooldown time. You know, it's ready almost constantly. All you gotta do is just throw it down somewhere and make sure you don't get shot in the head from it. And then one of those big 4 stratagems I was talking about earlier, you know, it's kind of a personal preference thing. Do you want to use artillery, or do you want to bring an eagle, or do you want to bring a laser? And then something for chafe clearing, so like eagle clusters or an orbital / eagle napalm barrage. Now we go ahead and move on to the squid front. This is where this loadout shines. It kills everything easily. Other than with wyverns, but you know, they aren't really that big of a problem as people, you know, like to say they are. So before we get into how it is good against squid enemies, we gotta go off topic for a second. Ahead. Why would you have us fight squids for 2 months and then defend Super Earth against them, just to give us one bot major order, just to send us back to this metaphorical sandbox, which is what you call the squid front? Now, just because the planet's name is funny does not mean I'm having any fun, Arrowhead. These missions have no side objectives, little to no examples, and it's just running from main objective to main objective, just for all of them to be the exact same 3 main objectives. Like, that's just ridiculous. Anyways, back to the actual loadout. Well, whenever the squids get new actual fun content other than a flatbread pizza shooting at you from 1,000 miles away, this loadout destroys everything on the squid front. All the way down from voteless all the way up to tripods. The only problem that this loadout kind of has is when you're getting swarmed by like 1,000 flesh beasts. But even then, as long as you get yourself in a safe distance away from them and you're able to focus on one at a time, you'll be able to kill them all. Setups I probably recommend using would be similar to what you're using on the bug front. So, you know, some kind of turret, one of the big 4 stratagems, and then something for chafe clearing, and then a backpack of some sort. Anyways, I think that's all we got for this loadout, so I'm gonna go ahead and send you guys off. I think this will be the rest of the... sure? What? Right? Okay. Right. Yeah. The bugs are attacking what? Hey guys, just coming to the end of the video because, you know, this really isn't my kind of content. I usually, if you haven't seen on my channel, this is probably like your first video. I usually record Minecraft stuff. I just decided Helldivers is one of those games that I really love, and I feel like I'm gonna have to have a part of that be in my content, and on top of Minecraft. So I mean, I don't really usually do scripted stuff either. So this is the first ever thing I've done scripted. I'm talking off the top of my brain right now, but if you guys enjoyed that, please let me know. Or if you want to go, and if you're from, you know, you're watching this and you want to see more of me, and you want to see me talk about, you know, stuff that I do in my normal day, and you know, life and stuff like that, and my, you know, movies and stuff like that, please watch one of the Minecraft videos, because that's what I usually talk about. I know, like last episode, I talked a lot about a couple war movies, you know, Band of Brothers and Saving Private Ryan and stuff like that. So if you're interested in that, please go ahead and check that out too. Anyways, I hope you guys have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time.